Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Nioh level 1 fist and knees Raoh build, some variant of that, where I'm going to be on a conquest to conquer Century's End and get through this entire game beating people up in the way that the true inheritor of the Hokuto no Ken would be proud of, as I take a nice big slash there at the back of him, which is just how the swings work in this game, so you need to be aware of it. But I'm fighting this skeleton to show you guys that my damage is still not great, so this is the reason why I don't fight everything, because undoubtedly there's going to be that one comment that always exists in every playthrough you've ever looked at, or every kind of run that anyone's ever done, where they go like, oh, why aren't you just running past everything? It's like, well, yeah, dude, that's kind of what happens when you're on a suboptimal build. As much as I'd like to beat everybody, it's just not how it works. You know, if I had some kind of game-changing move that affected everybody, like the parry, then I would do that, but the parry doesn't affect everything, so alas, I can't do anything fancy. I've even unlocked the press forward and X in low stance when you're using the sword to jump behind people's backs in hopes of making it more interesting, but I can't use that move unless I use a sword, and I can't use a sword in this build outside of those examples at the beginning of the game when the game was really fucking miserable. And let me preface that statement by saying, this game is amazing. This might be my favourite game this year. I like it better than anything I've played so far, and I've played some really great games. There's been some awesome games recently, but this is by far my favourite, and in my opinion, the best. So when I say that, you know, the game was miserable, I just mean the way I was playing it. It's no reflection on Nioh at all. If anyone were to ask me one game they buy this year, I'm saying this, because all I want to do is play this game. I don't want to play any of the new games I've got, and I've got a list of new games right now. I haven't touched For Honor, I've barely touched Horizon, I've barely touched Ghost Recon Wildlands, I've touched Nioh quite a lot, but that's because I'm making a guide for it. But this is the game I want to play. Those games are all fine, and there's a lot of fun to be had, but this is the one that's in my blood right now, and it's because it is that good. And that's coming from somebody who was very scared of this game when it was coming out in alphas and betas and things, because I felt like at the time they did not have their shit together. The game just did not feel like it knew what it wanted to be, and it didn't feel good enough, in my opinion. And that completely changed by the time the final build met my hands, and I can say right now that they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. Do I have problems? Undoubtedly. I have problems in everything, guys. It's kind of one of the things that I analyse the most, because it's the stuff that really, really shines to me. But those problems are so nominal in the grand scheme of what they got right, that if I started talking about all the good things in this game, I would never shut up, and that's not something anybody wants. So just let me put it out there that this is a great game that I think anybody who owns a PlayStation 4 should check out. And if you're avoiding it because you're in some kind of, you know, the hysteria of the masses where people believe that these games are so ridiculously difficult that it'll kill your entire family if you fuck up once, that is not the case. The game is challenging, but it's only as challenging as you make it, and you can do a lot of cool things to have a lot of fun and alleviate a lot of that challenge. It is literally a game that can be played by players of any skill levels, and you will get out of it what you put in. And if that isn't the best compliment you can give a game, I don't know what is. As we run past Mr. Skeleton and I get into the Laurel and Hardy section of our video, where I drop down, forget where to go, because I've not played the game in a few days. I'm like, is it over here? Where's the ramp? Where's the ramp? And I take a big hit off Mr. Axeman. I'm like, that's a dead end, it can't be that way. But this leads outside, and I'm back with the crazy Wraith lady. And then I'm like, it must be in the building. So we take some unnecessary damage, we go on a little bit of an errand, but we're back in the fray and going the right way. But the fists, it has to be said, I'm so sad that the fists are what they are. I had such high hopes. I really did. You know, and it wouldn't be difficult to make it either. They could have done so many things, and I'm really hoping, because the DLC comes out later this month for, I think it is it Masamune Date, and you get some other things, a new difficulty. We're going to be getting harder difficulty stuff, and apparently some missions that are the equivalent of boss rushes. And as long as the checkpoints are good, i.e. at the beginning of the fight rather than running to a place, then I'm going to be 100% all over those, because they sound really fun. But I don't know when the new weapons and everything is coming, because it said, didn't it, 5 new weapon types. I don't know if that means presets or if it's the equivalent of the hammers in the axe, you know, variant. I'm hoping it's new variants completely, because I want tonfas, I want nunchucks, I want Vigarian flails, I want scythes, I want everything, dude. I want every weapon that's ever been in Ninja Gaiden. Unlaboured flawlessness, you know, you name it, I want it. And it could work, and they could be great. But it also mentions that there's going to be new spirits, so new guardian spirits, which could be really, really cool. I'm excited to see what they are. I think one of them is a dragon, because that's what Date has. And then it says, what else did it say? New enemies, I think, new yokai, which is great. New areas, new bosses, of course. So that's a lot of cool new stuff. And I'm not entirely sure when all of it's coming out, but I am very excited. Because as the game stands, they could have obviously done more. I think that there was the opportunity for them to have tons of stuff in this game, and you can tell that they were a little bit reserved with it. One of the areas to me that stands out the most is the enemies. You fight a lot of the same enemies in this game, and they do incrementally change and evolve, and on New Game Plus they get new movesets and additional moves, which is great. But you can kind of tell that there's not quite enough. There's some enemies that are such an oversight that they only show up in 2 levels, like what's with those umbrella things you never see? You know, there's tons of different dudes that only turn up in certain places. And I would like to have more, and I'm hoping that the DLC does exactly that. It brings more things, and it populates them across the rest of the missions. Because that could be really, really cool. You know, there's a lot of depth to this game, and there's a lot of stuff to do, and if they're going to keep adding to it, then I can't imagine a world where players aren't going to continue to discover and enjoy it. And that's what it's all about, and people are probably already talking about Nioh 2, but I don't care about that game. I care about this game. I want Nioh right now, and I want to get really deep into it and find out how everything works. And that's what's most enjoyable for my playstyle. But I'm super stoked to see what they do with it. And they could fuck it up, you know. It's easy to mess up today, in today's era of gaming. Like, the first thing I noticed on Ghost Recon Wildlands is that if you go to the store in the menu, you can purchase credits with real money just to buy a bunch of superficial dog shit for the game. It's like, that's horrible, man. That's not what I want to see. And then there's this game, almost everything is right, and it's exactly what I want to see. So, Yuki Ono. Whatever Yoko Ono, let's just do it, man. John Lennon's bird, we're going to give it a big slap for the rest of the Beatles. So my strategy is quite simple. I'm going to hit her with the knee strikes to break her ki, and then when she's low on ki, I'm going to swap to my fists, I'm going to buff, and then I'm going to punish her with both of my fists. I'm going to show Yuria what Kenshiro was hiding from her all along. And I'm going to be exploiting some of my knowledge of this boss to do so. So now that she doesn't have any ki, we can unleash the pain and dodge the moves and unleash the pain, and then get out of there, and then once the fist wears out, we can go back to the knees and we can repeat. So this is the second phase of the fight. She now adds the awful ice moves that are terrifying, and the grabbing move, which is that, which can be difficult to dodge, but if you space it, it's the easiest way of contending with it and punishing it. It's the ice that I don't like. It's just the randomness of the ice. When you don't have a good block, you can get hit by the ice very easily. And even if you know how to dodge it, which I know pretty much how to dodge all of them, but it's the triple cast that spreads over that formation. That's one that oftentimes catches me, even when I'm dodging and I feel like I'm dodging it right. But we're about to break her ki, so I'm going to swap to my fists, and I'm going to immediately buff to get my fists going. She's going to try and stab me in the gut, and I'm going to punch her in the jaw. Oh no, she does the spinning combo. Here it comes. Oh no, she threw the baton. Get her, Chris. Yeah. There you go, Raoh. Put her down. Combo her. Keep on comboing her. Be careful because she's very fat. There it was. See? Slowed that down. No part of that staff was even close to the back of my character. I was past her. I was literally behind her shoulder. But at last the game says that's the active hitbox and you take damage for it. And here is the move that scares me. And as you can see, I'm not doing the best job of dodging it either. But we got through and that's all that matters. Because it's weird, normally I hold block and then I dodge, like this. This is how I do it. But when I don't hold block, I panic, and I don't know what to do with myself because I've conditioned the response. So that's why you saw me doing rolls and things, because I was just kind of like, oh my god, don't die! And now we have no damage, so it's just going to be knees till she dies. And hopefully she dies. So here she comes again, and here's the knee, and there she went. Yuki is down. Hopefully you enjoyed that, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.